Hey everyone and welcome to Brotato. I am Coffee Traveler and I have a 36 streak on rotating on the potatoes here and think that I've gotten pretty good at the game. In the latest rotation that I did, which is all of the potatoes, I went 42 and 2. What I'm here to talk about today though is how can you play Brotato? How can you get better at the game? We're going to talk about the shop. We're going to take well-rounded here. He's our boy. And one of the easiest ways to talk about the shop is we're going to do a melee and a ranged run of this. We're going to start with melee. I want to take the melee weapon that I think is one of the best, and we'll talk about why it is and how we can get as many sticks as we can. It's going to be stick here. Stick says when you have more sticks, you get more sticks. And how do we get a lot of sticks? Well, we go into the shop and we buy a lot of sticks. We can start at like danger 5, or this can even be done on danger 0. I'm going to click danger 5. So that so that in your runs you'll have it easier than I have it. Let's take a look. On the first wave, we're gonna like position to try to get as many hits with the stick as possible. I'm gonna do it with as little movement as possible because we're trying to get better at the game and thinking about how to get better at the game. We could run up there and attack that tree, but we're just gonna fight the aliens because maybe you don't get a tree on your first run. All right. We leveled up. This will typically happen on wave 1. No problems. You get offered 4 stats, no downsides. We can think about all of our stats on the right hand side here. There are like 15 of them, almost 20 of them, however many there are over here, a whole bunch. Which ones are good, which ones are bad, what's this, what's that. Attack speed being very valuable because you already get like this or that. My favorite thing to take on this particular level up is harvesting. I'm going to roll upwards of twice. Think about how many times you want to roll and what stats you're going to take if you see them. The stat I would take here if I didn't reroll is going to be 5% damage, but I am going to reroll because it costs 2. This is a very small percentage of this. It'll cost 2. We already had talked about attack speed being very, very good. So I don't see harvesting here. I think attack speed is still a good enough stat to take here, so we'll take it. In the shop, you have landed in the shop. You get to see 4 cards in the shop. It's pretty good. In this particular shop, shop 1 and shop 2, the first 2 items sitting here, every time you roll the shop, which when you enter the shop, you roll the shop, it's going to be weapons, right? And sometimes the shop will target a weapon that you have in your inventory, and it'll target the tag primitive because this weapon has the primitive tag or whatever tags your weapons have, and it will show an item from that particular class of weapons in the shop. This has shown us a stick and a torch. These are both primitive weapons. I want more sticks. They cost 12, so we're going to click stick here and buy stick, and watch when I reroll. Watch what happens. 2 weapons show up again. This is kind of a high roll, but 2 weapons have shown up again because the first shop, one of the most important things to do, these items could be amazing items. They could be the best items you've ever seen, but we get 50% more power by buying the stick. Boom. And it's even higher than that because the sticks get stronger. They get more melee damage. So we've gone +4 and +4. So what are we going to do again? We're going to re-roll. We're going to find another stick. I want as many sticks as possible. Boom. Again, high rolled a little bit. I'll be like, oh, but this broken mouse is really good. I really like hit points. You can really like hit points. And if you really like any of these items that show up, click that lock button and save it for the future. Right now, I'm not going to lock this because the primitive passive is +9 hit points and gives you huge survivability. And the other way to survive is to just get more sticks. We will kill all of the aliens. Okay? So I'm going to click reroll one more time because a stick costs 12, and if we see a stick, we're taking it. Incredible value. Now, I have no more rerolls or other things. If you like any of these items you've seen over here, you can like any of them. You can lock them for the 3rd shop. I have not liked any of them, so we're going to do that. That's how you deal with shop 1. You reroll until you go below the price of the item you would see. Like if I had, let's see here, if I had 15 materials in the shop, I would not reroll because I could not afford the stick if I found it. So with that said, let's go to wave 2. I'll do as little moving as possible here to make it seem as good as possible. For I'm not doing crazy movement. I'm not playing better than this, that, or the other thing. We're just taking it as easy as possible because we're trying to learn all about the shop and I'm not getting ahead. I'm even leaving some materials on the ground. I'm not even picking them up all that well. Now, we've gotten another level up. It's level 2 this time, which is fine. We don't have any luck, so the cards we're going to see are these tier 1 cards. My favorite stat into this game on almost every potato, it's going to be harvesting. This is a scaling stat that gives you money and XP at the end of every wave. So this +5 here just gives it to you every single wave. So I think this is a premium stat. If I were looking at other stats, I'd probably reroll for more attack speed or % damage. We want to take as many scaling stats though as we can, which would be harvesting and luck, and that we can get away with before wave 9. Cool. Again, we have rolled into the shop. We are focusing on all of the shop. We have 2 weapons here. These are not weapons we're interested in having. And these 2 items over here, I'm not super interested in having due to this passive. But if you did want them, lock them for shop 3. Boom. Reroll. Again, don't super like any of this. If you like this bat, it has -2 harvesting and some lifesteal, you can lock it for shop 3. This stick is here. It's good. Love this stick. This bag is here. Now that we have maxed out on sticks, we do not have to reroll as hard, but for demonstration purposes, I'm going to keep re-rolling so that hopefully we get it in people's heads. And we have high rolled even harder here. So sometimes in a shop, you can see a blue stick and a tier 1 stick. This is incredible value. Incredible value. I'm not going to reroll this 6 here because we've already locked a stick. And I don't need either of these 2 weapons or two items. So we'll just go next. We move just a little bit. We're not doing anything too crazy, but the power that you get from having a full complement of weapons doesn't mean you have to be running around, doesn't mean you have to be dodging things. Wave 3 should not be that hard. It's only hard when you have 2 weapons or 3 weapons, but if you have all 6 weapons plus 1 upgraded, makes for a pretty easy time. Let's see here. These stats are not any of the stats I've mentioned before, which is % damage, attack speed. Armor is okay. If you're going to be getting hit a lot, sure, we could take armor. But I kind of want to see like harvesting, % damage, or attack speed. So let's take a reroll. We could also see luck. There's a blue card here, and oftentimes they're giving you double the stats, but that stat is not useful for our melee run here. So I am just going to take this % damage. This attack speed is very appealing, but I would not fault you for taking this dodge card here because you're getting dodge at premium. You're getting premium stats here. So let's go ahead and do that. The way that I like to combine sticks, I like to make blue ones first because they fire just a little bit faster. This is 1.12 and this is 1.18. So we'll just combine up here. It goes to 6 damage per stick as well too. So we have as many of them as high tier as possible. I like this scar. The other thing that you should know about shops 3, 4, and 5 is when you reroll, you see 1 weapon. So let's say we like this injection a lot, so we're going to lock that. And then when we reroll, we'll see 1 weapon. When we reroll again, 1 weapon. I would not argue that you lock an item and then reroll. You're losing out on a card, but I was doing this for demonstration purposes so that we could see what that looks like. The other thing I like here is I like this peaceful bee that we did find. That -1 melee damage is not that much because our stick's having so much plus flat damage, and also the harvesting that is sitting on here for 26. It pays for itself by wave 8 and beyond. Not only does it pay for itself, it's giving us XP, which we took a scar, so let's go next. We'll play this out through wave 5 so that we can see the wave 5 shop that I discussed, and we'll do it again for an SMG, and that'll be the totality of this video. The biggest thing that is probably setting people behind is they don't realize that their most upstream problem is shop 1 and 2. They're trying to solve it by playing well, by outmaneuvering the enemies. You don't have to outmaneuver anything when you just have so much raw damage and so many weapons. There's not a lot of outmaneuvering that is necessary. All right. Some people watching this video may not know this is the level 5 level up. You see blue cards every single time. So if I re-roll, and I will be re-rolling because I don't feel that any of these stats are super great, I should see people taking any of these for a whole myriad of reasons, but for me, it's not really for me. Luck is kind of a tertiary stat. If this was harvesting, I would probably take the 8 harvesting. I would also take the attack speed. I would also probably take armor at this point. So let's take a look. I had said harvesting, so that's the one I'm going to do. Oftentimes I really re-roll these 2, maximum 3 times, looking for 4 stats. So think about the 4 stats you want to find. We go with that. We get lucky here and we find that there's some more attack speed. Love that. And then we get to just buy all of these items in the shop. And since it's shop, wave 4 into a shop, this shop will have a guaranteed weapon. It'll be the first card. Boom. Torch. There's a stick sitting here as well, which we'll combine. And then we'll reroll one more time for demonstration purposes. The first card will always be a weapon. Boom. Hatchet. Not the one we're looking for. That's okay. Let's go to wave 5 and play it out, and then show that the shop at wave 5 also gives you 1 guaranteed weapon. This runs on a really good path. These sticks are already upgraded to tier 2 sticks, and I think we're smooth sailing. We will need to fix things like armor and lifesteal and other things, but you do not need to take any of those things in the first set of waves because we have so many weapons keeping us safe. Armor and regen and lifesteal is not keeping you safe because you don't have enough weapons. When you have enough weapons, you're so safe. The safety comes from having the weapons that we have, so that we can take harvesting, so that we can scale out, so that we don't lose on waves 18, 19, and 20 and get incredibly frustrated with the game and don't understand why that's happening. Let's think about the stats that we want, and I've said this in the past. Percent damage, no particular order. Percent damage, attack speed, harvesting, and I kind of would take some luck or armor as like a tertiary thing. So these are 4 or 5 stats that we're going to roll 2 or 3 times. Don't roll your life away. This is materials that you could be getting items on. So every time you re-roll, you're losing out on other power elsewhere. Now, I find that these cards in this level up is very premium, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. For example, I'm going to take this purple card. I'm getting triple the stats because it's tier 3. I don't need a ton of life, but you know, it's here. So we're going to take this purple card. Similarly, this blue card of harvesting, like harvesting being a premium stat. This is the wave shop, the wave 5 shop. That first is going to be a weapon every single time. For demonstration purposes, I think I'm just going to roll this down and then we're going to go on to the SMG run of well-rounded. This run is in incredible shape. We have 40 harvesting. We have all of our weapons at tier 2. We have 45 hit points, 12% damage. Like, this run is coming together. Let's see, there's a stick here. We can even combine. We can take Gentle Alien. Plank is not what we're looking for. I could even see people taking Boxing Glove for this wave 11 Horde wave over here. We can take another stick, and then that's our reroll. And that's how we play it out in the first 5 shops. Let's go take a look at SMG. Turn to main menu. Yes. Start a new one. Go to well-rounded. So take a look at what it is for range to do this. Now, the SMG version of this is going to be a little bit different in that you just don't have as much money. The SMG costs 23. It does not cost 12. So the SMG is a very costly weapon, and I would urge people to be as careful as possible to pick up as many materials as possible due to this fact. Now, what are the stats that we want to look for here? Harvesting number 1. Flat range damage number 2. And that's kind of it. Those are the 2 things that I would be looking for here. Luck can be a thing that comes along as well, but percent damage could be okay. Attack speed's pretty bad. So let's take a look here. This percent damage is okay, and this luck is okay, but I would prefer harvest. I would prefer 2 other premium stats. So let's go one more time. We did not get them, and I'm kind of sad, but I wouldn't fault anyone for rolling one more time because these are such low tier stats. We get even worse tier stats. So this is an example of us rolling our life away because we've now wasted no more money. So right now I'm going to bail out and take this crit, even though it's not very good. This coupon's very, very appealing, but we need to get weapons. We're going to lock it and we're going to roll. And we're looking for an SMG. There's 1. Now I need to roll and find an SMG here because I rolled away all my money on attributes, and I lost out on like 20 monies or even more than that for re-rolling for finding SMGs. So that's the problem with re-rolling stats. So good thing we saw that, because it is a good example of what you don't realize where all your materials are going. It's putting you behind. We high roll and we hit an SMG. Still locking that coupon. I want weapons. We want to kill as many aliens as possible for as many materials as possible. So that's where we're at. This is how the shop works. This is how you can make your runs a lot smoother, because instead of getting to wave 6 or 7 and you have 4 or 5 weapons and you're wondering why the game is so hard, the game can get a lot easier when you get all of these weapons. Now, I was talking about blue cards being blue. Engineering doesn't do anything for us, so this blue card is functionally blank. This harvesting here is actually incredible, so we will take that. Also, another premium stat is range damage. We will take that. We're going to take this SMG, but first I'm going to take the coupon and then the SMG, because we can't really buy the second SMG if we find one. So this is a small deviation, and we get to reroll twice to find another SMG. And there's one. We lock that for next wave. So we have 4 guns into wave 3, which kind of a baseline that I like to have is 1 gun per wave, or 1 weapon per wave, because sometimes you don't find a lot of weapons, but you want to have 1 per wave to be pretty safe. And then for most gameplay, just sit here in the middle and let them come to you. It's early enough into the wave. It's not going to be much of a problem. You don't really need to run into the wings. We can get to that XP later. This purple card is pretty purple. Lifesteal doesn't do a ton for us, but it will. It is giving us 3 times the stats, so it allows us to buy other things as we go. This shop 3, shows 1 weapon, but only 1 weapon. Every time we roll this, we will only ever see 1 weapon. See how there's only 1 weapon? Coffee's not very good on SMG, so we'll go next. Makes me sad, but is what it is. 1 rock, roll again. This sharp bullet is incredible. Piercing is great for ranged builds, but we're still looking for an SMG. There we go. We'll take that. We'll go next. So now we have 5 weapons on wave 4. This wave should feel fairly safe, and I shouldn't really have to move around at all or do much to it. I'm thinking about like what stats do I want, other things. I probably should be present here in the wave and paying attention, but we are so far ahead. And this is what I mean by you don't have to do anything crazy from waves like 1 through 9, in that you just buy weapons and get good stats. So definitely waves 1 through 5, you shouldn't have to buy any defensive stats. You don't need regen, lifesteal, armor, dodge. You don't need any of those stats. We need weapons and damage stats and scaling from harvesting. This harvesting for me, I'm going to take this. 8 harvesting comes at such a premium on our level 5 level up again. None of these are things I want. I'm going to roll 2 times for stats that I'm looking for. This harvesting is one of those stats. And then we buy this, and we buy the sharp bullet. It's wave 4 into a shop, so every time we roll, we'll see guaranteed 1 weapon. We're already at max weapons, so we can sit back on that and feel good. We don't need to roll this down. This is just for education purposes, that this shop will continue to show you at least 1 weapon. Now if we lock this weapon, the next shop won't show us, so that roll down is pretty bad like that, but it's demonstrating that these shops do specific things, and this is what people probably don't know or are glossing over. No XP is ever lost. It's always formed up into 2x XP the next wave. There's like some other different things going on with materials that we can discuss in another video, but for the keeping it constrained and to the point, we are here for the shops 1 through 5. If you have other questions, go ahead and put them in the comments below, and I'm happy to get to them in future videos, or I will respond directly to you in the comment. Appreciate that very, very much. If you like, comment, and subscribe. For me here, this HP is very appealing, but you could take any one of these. I'll just take HP. We're going to go look at the shop one more time. And every time we reroll, we get to see a weapon. There's all weapons. Here's another weapon. We could take that SMG or we could go next. For just education purposes, one weapon, one weapon, one weapon, one weapon. And that is how you can take shops and waves 1 through 5 to the next level to win your game. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. Appreciate you very, very much. Go ahead and put your comments down below the video. If you are watching this video as well, I may be live on twitch.tv/coffeetraveler, and we'll see you there. Thanks so much. Until next time.